Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Now I'm going to be tying this fly here. This is just it's basically an adult midge emerger type pattern. I was lucky enough to get a cast the other day there. I was out testing a couple of batteries for my GoPro, the one I use for outside. So best to test it by actually using it. So had a reasonable day. Fish were quite hard to get. They really were playing really hard to get. End up catching on dries. So this was one of the dries that I hooked on, and it's basically an adult midge. It's a parachute pattern. So I thought I'd film it and let you see it. It's reasonably simple to tie. Now the hook I'm using, this is a size 16. It's a check nymph. So one I use a lot for dries as much as nymphs. There is a heavy version. Now this is the 50-65, which is the standard shank. It's a normal shank, good for dries and such, as well as nymphs. There is a heavier version. Just be careful you don't buy that and expect to tie dries on it. Well, you will be able to make it float, but you need a bit more material. But anyway, this is the heavy version, so it'll be the 50-67, as you can see. Now the fly itself is quite reasonably simple. It's as I say, it's an adult midge type emerger. Means like a caddis as much. If you tie this the right colour, it would represent a caddis. So I'm going to be tying it. I'll show you how to do it. It's quite simple. Thread choice, just needs a black fine thread. One I'm using is a new Full and Milray one. I'm going to be using them over the winter months to give them a good test, because they're just new in the market, and so far it's been fine. I've been happy with it. Anyway, we're going to put some thread down. At half the body length I'm going to be tying, and I'm going to come back up about halfway just to give it the measure for the post and the wing. Now I'm using the ultra dry yarn. You could use a lot of different yarns, Parapost and all the rest. I'm just using this. Now this is a single length. Oh, I've got the hackle. Single length from the hank. I'll show you the first place, sorry. So this is the yarn I'm using. It's nice and crinkly, that's why I like to use it. Plus it floats. So what I do is double up one for the wing, or the post anyway. I only want a wee drop for the back to give the impression with the midge. Now the midge do have a wee, just a wee bit too much here. Just gonna trim some of this away. Folded it back more than I thought, so as we work our way down, it should taper. I like it to taper slightly. There we are. Now when you see midge, there is a wee fine hair fibre that comes off basically the bottom of the body, and this will give that impression, but as this is basically like a shipments. So tie that onto there. Rib, I'm going to rib it with a fine pearl, this one, number 16, Unimila pearl. It ain't the strongest type, but it's strong enough that it'll stay on. You can protect this by just rubbing it with the thread, like. But anyway, the other way to do it, I'm just going to show you here. I've actually got, this is black seals for the wee bit of flash in it. It's a wee bit of pearl light bright. If you don't want to rib it, just use a wee bit of pearl light bright through it. Just going to lightly dub this on. Now I want to come up about 2/3 of the way, just for the body, which is about there. And there's not much on that. You could use a lot of dubbins. You don't have to use seals for. I'm going to bring the rib up through. I want it quite close. There we are. You will, an odd time, lose the rib, but most times I find it holds fine. Now if you wanted, you could quickly take the thread down, like zigzag through it, and that'll hold it, which is fine, and it'll never pull out. If you want to do that, that's fine. Now I want a wing on it, so I'm using CDC feathers, so I'm going to get a couple of small natural CDC. You could maybe add another one or two if you want, but a couple is fine for me. If you want to double up on it, I'll show you how to do that. Wing length, looking towards the back of the hook. So we come over with a couple of turns, and then we just draw it back, fold it back. This will double up on it. and we just form the thorax, the back of the thorax a wee bit, and then we just have to use the inside of our scissors and just, I usually just push it, and that trims it. Just leave it the way it is. And there we are. Now you can always, as I say, trim this, just like trim it at a slight angle. Just take a wee bit of taper in it, that's fine. You could leave it, it's up to yourself, but that's fine the way it works. There's the stem. I actually don't mind the stem being there because it helps to dry it, but if you don't like it, you can always come in and just take them out, make it softer. There we are. Now going back to my dubbing, put a wee bit of dubbing here, but before we do that, let me get my Grizzle. This is a Grizzle saddle. I'm just going to bare some of the stem and rub out the fibre. I wax my thread. Take my thread in front of the post, and when you catch the hackle in front, now you want to bare a good bit of the stem if you want to post it up into the wing. So you just 2 or 3 turns there, and then you post 2, 3, 5 turns. There we are. Now we're just going to put some more dubbing on, but we're going to fill up this area here. Now it's just to tidy things up. And you can put some in the front as well if you want once we do the hackle. Just see how it develops. You don't have to do it. It looks fine without it. And just leave it. It's fine. Take the thread in front of the wing or the post. And then we want to post for hackle. So when you're doing a parachute, you do a turn. The next one should be under that. And again, and you put on as many turns as you feel that suits the fly, the size of the fly, and how good the hackle is. Depends on how good the hackle is. So once I'm on my side at this point, so I lift everything up. So I'm on my side of the hook. All I do is try and take my fingers out of the road so you can see. I bring it round in front, and then I use these 2 fingers to hold that for a second. You want to keep the hackle tight, and then you bring your thread up. You will catch 1 or 2 fibres, so don't worry about it. Once you do that, then we can come in, I bring the hook to the side so I can see it, and then I come in with my scissors and trim away any fibre going forward. Just lift up, see if I've got any, but I've got 1 or 2 there. Now you could tie off at the bottom of the post, but I don't really bother with that. Now once I'm happy with that, now you can tidy up with the thread turns. A wee quick look at it, or you can put a wee tiny bit of dubbing in there if you wish. And I'll show you how you do it. Just a wee bit of dubbing. You don't need much. Just, you see how much is there, tiny wee bit. Just lift your fibres out the way your hackle fibres. There we are. Just come in then. So you secure your wet finish by basically putting varnish on the thread, and then you want to wet finish again. Be sure nothing's in the way. Tighten up. Pull that down. Now you'll need to obviously bring your hackle back down, your parachute, and then you can trim this to suit yourself. I mean, on the day, keep it quite long at first. Use that as a sighter, which I did. I didn't actually trim it down, I just kept it the way it was. Any extra long fibre, you can draw them away. But for midge, and if it's tied in the right colours, it's a good, just taking these long fibres out. As I say, for midge, for caddis, impression or even terrestrial, gnats, this is a good pattern, but if you tie it in the right colours, as I say, it could be any fly. So anyway, that was the one I was using the other day. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and liked the tips. So like always, thanks for watching. Until next time.